Hey grade 1, welcome to Cornerstones BLM. The story we're going to read today is called Dear Mr. Blueberry by Simon James, and we're going to be doing BLM 72. So if you follow along with me, we're going to start right here. Dear Mr. Blueberry, I love whales very much, and I think I saw one in my pond today. Please send me some information on whales, as I think he might be hurt. Love, Emily. Dear Emily, here are some details about whales. I don't think you'll find it was a whale you saw, because whales don't live in ponds, but in salt water. Yours sincerely, your teacher, Mr. Blueberry. Dear Mr. Blueberry, I am now putting salt into the pond every day before breakfast, and last night I saw my whale smile. I think he is feeling better. Do you think he might be lost? Love, Emily. Dear Emily, please don't put any more salt in the pond. I'm sure your parents won't be pleased. I'm afraid there can't be a whale in your pond because whales don't get lost. They always know where they are in the oceans. Yours sincerely, Mr. Blueberry. Dear Mr. Blueberry, tonight I am very happy because I saw my whale jump up and spurt lots of water. He looked blue. Does this mean he might be a blue whale? Love, Emily. P.S. What can I feed him? Dear Emily, blue whales are blue and they eat tiny shrimp-like creatures that live in the sea. However, I must tell you that a blue whale is much too big to live in your pond. Yours sincerely, Mr. Blueberry. P.S. Perhaps it's a blue goldfish? Dear Mr. Blueberry, last night I read your letter to my whale after he let me stroke his head. It was very exciting. I secretly took him some crunched up cornflakes and breadcrumbs. This morning I looked at the pond and they were all gone. I think that I shall call him Arthur. What do you think? Love, Emily. Dear Emily, I must point out to you quite forcibly now that in no way could a whale live in your pond. You may not know that whales are migratory, which means they travel great distances each day. I'm sorry to disappoint you. Yours sincerely, Mr. Blueberry. Dear Mr. Blueberry, tonight I am a little sad. Arthur has gone. I think your letter made sense to him, and he has decided to be migratory again. Love, Emily. Please don't be too sad. It really was impossible for a whale to live in your pond. Perhaps when you are older, you would like to sail the ocean studying and protecting whales. Yours sincerely, Mr. Blueberry. Dear Mr. Blueberry, it's been the happiest day. I went to the beach, and you'll never guess, but I saw Arthur. I called to him, and he smiled. I knew it was Arthur because he let me stroke his head. I gave him some of my sandwich, and then we said goodbye. I shouted that I loved him very much, and I hope you don't mind. I said you loved him too. Love, Emily and Arthur. That is such a wonderful tale full of lots of love and light and imagination. So this is the activity we're going to do today. It's BLM 72. So if you're going to your books, make sure you look for BLM 72 at the bottom. It's called How Did That Get Here? So our instructions say some things in this picture don't seem to belong. Just kind of like Emily, right? We know that a whale wouldn't live in a pond, so she was using her bright imagination. So here some things don't belong. So you're going to use your imagination to figure out how they got there. On a separate piece of paper, you're going to write a story about this picture. So if we look, it looks kind of like a treehouse, jungle type of vibe. And I see a magnifying glass, I see a ballerina, a kangaroo, a bunny, a radio, an owl, a fridge. There's lots of interesting details, some skates. There's also stuff in here. So I want you to create a story about this picture. So how did that all get there? So you can be as creative as Emily was with Arthur. So what I would like you to do is make sure you please have 5 full sentences minimum, which means you have to have 5 or more. Make sure you have capitals in your periods and that you also double check your spelling. Now, if you're not sure how to spell a word, I want you to make sure you use your sounding out. So try sounding it out. Again, if it's not spelled perfectly, as long as I see you're sounding out, that's most important to me. So I want to see how creative you get here. You can make this an adventure story, or maybe a romance story, a comedy, something sad, anything you want. So have lots of fun, get super creative, and I'm really, really, really excited to see your stories. Have lots of fun. Bye.